Oh, well, I guess we're live, everybody. I am so sorry. What's going on out there, everybody? Welcome to another fabulous episode of Bucs Report, the Aftermath. You know what it is. If you don't know, it's Victory Monday. Take your sip, get your rum, get your popcorn, just talk your shit because I am. Speaking of talking your shit, I prophesied this, ladies and gentlemen. Take a look. I can actually see Sean Tucker getting a rushing touchdown. That's why I want the Bucs to be aggressive. You got to be aggressive, Grizzard. You see, it paid off being aggressive. And who scored a touchdown? Slick. Sean Tucker, a good touchdown. My man scored to the outside. Let's bring on. I'm sorry. This is Slick, aka the British guy who's always fly. Now, see, you see what I'm saying, Slick? You see what the
you called it, brother. You called it.
I
you
called that
it.
shit. And as always, guys, you got to check out Bucs Report, the pregame. I do that. My man Slick is going to give you the great coach analysis of the aftermath. I have to talk the hope. He's going to give you the breakdown of logic. I put a little logic in there, but I'm heart and soul, yo. I ain't going to always give you the greatest X's and O's. I'm just going to give you the hearts and O's. So, but as always, Slick, shout out to the Bucs, and man,
yes, man.
We kicked ass, and we had a convincing win. I'm not saying this is a statement win, but it was convincing. I didn't have as many heart attacks as I normally do.
Yeah, I mean the Buccaneers. It was a little bit of a trade-off for it to begin with, and I think it was all down to that second quarter. Second quarter really kind of was our ugly patch, so to speak. This was where I don't know if Bowles is playing possum, and then he just fucking inflicts the blitzes and inflicts the coverage, and they just don't know what to fucking do because they always say that most of your adjustments come in at halftime because that's the most amount of time you have between plays, right? So,
right.
For example, you've just your defense has been slowly. The offense has matriculated the ball against you all the way down the field, and they've either got a touchdown or a field goal. You are going to be on the sidelines discussing what went wrong, what went right, how to fix it, what they're seeing, and how you can fix that. All those things are being talked about. However, when the short turnaround, the offense goes 3 and out, you don't have that conversation because the moment everyone's got a drink and had something to drink and taken their helmet off to listen, guess what? You're back on the field and there are no adjustments, which is why I'll always say this. If an offense goes 3 and out and you've just been scored on, expect the defense to struggle a second time because they haven't had a chance to change anything. When you get to halftime, you have this 20-minute period where everyone's going to get treatment, get looked at, get themselves right, get themselves back in the right frame of mind. But there's also the what they're seeing in the game so far. Could it possibly be? And I'm not going to sit here and say Coach Bowles is a fucking mastermind because I don't actually know. But the fact that he played this loose-ass, soft-ass zone coverage in the second quarter and then completely shut that shit down after the half, was that so that they didn't have any halftime adjustments to what he was going to call later on?
Right.
I don't know. I'd like to think it's that, but there's got to be some thought to it because he completely flip-flopped. Did he adjust? Was that, you know what I mean? Did he adjust, or was it a case of he was like, that's all right. They haven't got an answer for what we're going to do next, and they won't.
Mm-hmm. I think it was a combination of both, but sometimes I do think, he's human like everybody. Maybe someone in his coaching department said, Bowles, pull the fucking trigger. Bowles, get aggressive. Bowles, we don't want a repeat of the last game. Get in there and get after him. Maybe someone said also there's weakness in their line. Remember, the 49ers offensive line is not the strength as it was just a few years ago. Their interior Slick was weak. Trent Williams is not the same anymore. Is he still top tier? You could say so, but he's nowhere near what he was years ago. So maybe that's what it was. Slick, maybe someone whispered in Bowles' ears and says, no, you need to fucking act now. Because like you said, when he dialed up the blitz, we were getting there.
Yaya Diaby had 2. So It was a good day for the Buccaneers from a sack point of view. Yeah, Yaya Diaby got 2. Jamal Dean got 1. Levante David got 1. Hassan Reddick got half a sack. Vita Vea got half a sack. Elijah Roberts got half a sack. There's a lot of guys 8 yesterday.
Yes,
And
they
obviously
did.
the 2 INTs to go and go with it. Jamal Dean is playing for either a contract with us or he is making sure that when he does go, if he does go to free agency, he'll be one of the top looked at corners, which is great for him and it's great for us.
Yes, play your ass off. But I will say this: a blunder, builder, just get up and run next time. There's no need to fall. Oh, when I tell you, I'm sitting back like, what the fuck is he doing? I'm like, what are you doing? Get your ass up. Get
Did
up.
you see? Did you see the NFL tweet? Like posted it out there, and he replied with, "I need new cleats."
Yeah, I saw that. It ain't got shit to do with no cleats. Yo ass, I think he got scared. He just
I think it was the case. He got it was a bit of a diving one, and I think he never gained his footing, and he was thinking about getting licked, so he couldn't really get his footing right. It was hilarious, though, to
like,
say the
get
least.
your ass up, man. Like, he literally had no one. He had an extra 3 seconds to get up and run. And if he runs hard enough, he might be able to go into the end zone. But either way, he jumped the route. That was that was great. But Dean, he had sure hands. Dean has 2 picks. Last time I checked, Slick, when Dean had more than 2 interceptions, the Bucs won the Super Bowl. Yeah. I'm saying that I'm going there, world. You know why? The Bucs are 5-1. Okay, the Bucs are the #1 team in the NFC and tied #1 team in the NFL. Now, if you have common sense, the Colts ain't got shit on the Bucs. So I'm going out there, Slick. Your Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the #1 team in the NFL. And
I'd say right now, top to bottom, I mean, from a roster point of view, there's not very many people who are going to hang with us when we become healthy. You know, that's the crazy part. We have just got to get through these next 2 games and we go into a bye, and then we can try and lick our wounds, get healthy, and then come out and just blast out this last 8 games.
Yes, brother Slick. Before you even go there, I want people to understand this. Tampa Bay Buccaneers this season, Slick, and you can appreciate this as a coach. They are the embodiment of what it means as next man up. Somebody goes down, he steps up. Emeka went out.
The thing is, you're looking at Baker, who's also making these plays, and the great thing is, the great thing is Sterling Shepard is still with his team as such a smart signing. I know it didn't look like much because he doesn't do a heck of a lot, but when people went down, he was a counted on dude. Same with we're seeing more and more out of our tight end in K. Darton, who was the leading reception leader of the game. He's started to come into to fruition a little bit more. Tez Johnson was quiet, but he had the big bomb. I'd have liked to see a little bit more out of him, but that it is what it is. I'm hoping Emeka's injury is going to be 1 to 2 weeks. I don't think he'll be back the next week. And I hope that we get either Chris or Mike or both back, and that kind of nullifies that.
Well, they've already said Slick, Chris is out. Now they say that from what it looks like, though, Evans is on track to come back for next week. So expect him to go the fuck off. Branch is suspended. Their 2 top corners, Slick, like I told you, they're out. This is a game that this is going to be the type of game that Evans had against the Chargers. He's going to blow the fuck up. Slick, watch. Mark my words. And remember, he wants to get that 1,000-yard record.
Yeah, and he's missed 3 games, so he'll definitely want to start getting. And it's not like he's had a 100-yard game yet, so he will definitely want to get on the board and really showcase and walk away with maybe a 180 kind of game.
A 160 to 180 and 2 tutties. 2 tutties. Why, Slick? Because this is what they're going to do. We're going to get certain drives. We're going to have you march down the field, and then other drives, you're going to be the red zone nightmare because everybody's getting involved. Slick, you just brought up Tez Johnson. Let's talk about on the offensive side. First of all, Baker Mayfield is the bona fide MVP. Anybody else says anything different, you don't understand football, and you got someone else's meat in your mouth. And again, we are fans of football first then our team. What Baker has done, nobody else can replicate. That 3rd and 14 scramble slick, I lost my shit. I was sitting back like, how did he
We had
not
no
know
fucking
how?
right converting that fucking play. We had no fucking right, but we still did it.
And if you look at number 25, 49ers on the sideline, he literally puts his hands up like this. Like, and you can see
They had him. They had him. At one point, he was going to get sacked.
Yes.
And he ducks down.
Yes.
And just takes off, shimmies to the left, shuffles back, and then just hits it hard and dives over and gets it all. And then that drive becomes a touchdown. So, you look at it, he is playing out of his skin right now. And he has to because of the injuries. He's really put this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team on his back. I think everyone on the team kind of go to bat for him. And if the Buccaneers can get the Rachaad White had a decent day as well, running the football. This is something I'm hoping to see from the Bucs. If we can get Bucky and Mike back, that would be really, really good. That would pay off big style for us. Defensively, I think we just stay. It'd be nice to have Benjamin Morrison back. See that they kind of mixed in Deion Jones along with Savasi Dennis, which is kind of what they did last year with the other guy. I can't remember his name. With Savasi and the other guy. Sorry,
I think it was KJ Britt.
Britt, yeah, KJ Britt,
and yeah, love Britt to death. He just couldn't. He wasn't athletically gifted in pass coverage.
I mean, the thing is, you watch a player and you see a very small sample size, so you think of like the potential, right? You always do. We always have with these kinds of games and these kinds of players. Then they go into their second year where everyone's like, okay, well, if he continues what he did last year, where he picked up the pieces from Devin White and was a very good football player, just was better than Devin White, right? So it's like, if he takes that into next year, we're golden. And then he's is as bad as Devin White, if not worse.
it happens.
You can't make that shit up. And then Savasi Dennis has just been injured all the time, so...
I think for a guy like him, Slick, you got to give him in the early times, let him be a one assignment individual. Unfortunately, I would say this: hey, you have the athleticism. How about you focus on the flats in these certain situations? How about you take care of this so you don't be overwhelmed? Because for all we know, like you said, Slick, he's still fresh to this. I think mentally he's overwhelmed at this point, and it's the game hasn't slowed down for him yet. I'm not giving up on him, but I do think that he has potential. But I want to give him until the bye week. Now, after the bye week, Slick, if he doesn't show any progression, then I think you're on to something. Maybe they do need to keep mixing it, because at that point, it's no excuse. You're through half the fucking season. You should already be aware of how this system works. You should already know your assignments and what to do. At this point, if he doesn't, then that's another conversation, Slick, that we might have to think about do our mock drafts and who we need to pick up in college.
I mean, we're going to be picking up a linebacker regardless, right? That's just what's going to happen. Levante David is going to definitely go into the sunset. You can see that the wheels are starting to get that little bit slower, that little bit. Still a smart player, and I will say this: you saw what happened to the 49ers defense when Warner went out. That's what the Buccaneers defense will look like when Levante leaves and you don't find an adequate guy to take over.
I agree 100%.
I think the Buccaneers next year, if they're happy with the play that they got out of Savasi and Deion Jones, I think they'll go and just pay a big name bet, because you don't want to draft somebody to be the heart and soul of a team straight away. Like it's a tough ask for a guy, right? Yeah. You can bring in a guy and he learned from Levante, but that's too late now. The chances of Levante being here next year will be slim to none.
Agreed. And the way we're playing right now, Slick, he's going to walk off to the fucking sunset with another ring. Yes, I'm speaking positive energy, because, Slick, the way we are playing right now, we said this back in the offseason. Levante didn't come back just to go to the playoffs. He came back because he sees, oh, we're cooking something here. I want that extra ring, because one, he gets another ring, Slick, certified first ballot Hall of Fame. There's nothing that nobody else. They'd be like, hey, he's got 2 rings, guys, and look at how many systems he's been through. Yeah, he's going.
I don't think he'll be first ballot for the sheer fact that, by that logic, I think Rondé Barber should have been a first ballot. I think he'll be like a third. It depends on who comes up with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if he ends up being, let's say for the sake of argument, his class is his first, go into the Hall of Fame, so to speak, would be his first ballot. He's got to share it with another linebacker who is got more accolades in the sense of Pro Bowls and all those kinds of things. They'll walk it. He won't walk. He won't get in. How this thing works. Yeah. It's fickle, and I think rings don't always matter. It will come down. Like if you were to look at it now, let's say Lavonte David gets another ring, and Bobby Wagner also retires because he's had enough. They'll put Bobby Wagner in front of Lavonte 100%. I don't agree with it, but
it would be a travesty. Yeah, it would be a
travesty. It would be a travesty because when you look at them statistically and what they've both done, they're very similar in level pegging in almost every category. It's just the fact that Lavonte David was a right side sandbacker to begin with early in his career before he moved to exclusively the middle, which I think if he would have played in the middle, he would have got more Pro Bowls. What's disgusting about what's happened to Lavonte is he has more All Pros than he does Pro Bowls, which makes no fucking sense because a Pro Bowl is supposed to be easier to get than an All Pro.
Yeah.
So,
well, you know how it is.
Work that fucker out. That makes no sense.
Well, it makes sense because Wagner started his career with the Legion of Boom, a high-profile team, a marketing team in Seattle. You had character personalities with Sherman. Then you had also Marshawn Lynch. So the league likes shit like that. Slick, don't know. No matter what people say that the league doesn't tolerate this, they love drama because drama brings eyes to the screen and to the league. And look at it this way, Lavonte, you put Lavonte on the Legion of Boom, he'd do better. I don't think.
I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying when you put. I know they both have a Super Bowl right now. Let's say Lavonte gets 2. You're talking about a guy who's got 11 All Pros versus Lavonte's like 3.
Yes,
they'll always go. They'll always go with that.
And to me, Bobby Wagner is one of the most overrated guys of all time.
I think he's rated I think he's overrated for what they've given him. Like,
yes.
In all fairness, I still think he's one of the top linebackers in the league. But I don't think he's the best. I think, like you said, there's a little bit of he got to play on a really good team straight away. The guy doesn't know what losing is. He never had to deal with a losing franchise, really.
No,
really. I mean, he was there for the Seahawks harder years, and then he skipped town,
and then he left, and then he came to Washington, and he got trucked by Baker Mayfield. I ain't never seen Lavonte get trucked by a quarterback like that. So I hear what you're saying. And there, unfortunately, it's political bias behind shit like that. But Lavonte, needless to say, he is still a smart player. He's here, like you said, and back to your original comment with Fred Warner, that was a devastating loss. And it really did suck to see a guy like that go down the way he did when you saw. But I also love the camaraderie of and the brotherhood that Wirfs did try to signal the trainers. You could see in Tez, if you go look at the reaction, Slick, he was upset. He just put his head like, oh no. So that really did hurt the 49ers. In my opinion, that shifted the game a lot, Slick, because the 49ers were left naked in certain aspects. They couldn't have that guy, like you say, to give that leadership presence. It shifted the game completely. Now, I'm not saying that the Bucs would lose if he's in there, but the game would have been far more interesting.
I think we walk away with a last minute field goal, or we stop their final drive to win the game, kind of thing.
Right, and that's why it is important, and that's why I was happy that the defense did get a little better. But you're right, Slick. The soft zone coverages, he's got to cut that shit out. I get where it sometimes, again, we don't know what he's thinking, but in my opinion, Slick, he could.
It's when you see it not working, and it's time and time again. It's not like it worked 4 times and it failed massively 1 time. Right. Because what that tells me is if you're playing the same play and it fails occasionally, it means sometimes someone's not dialed into the play or understands what the concept is or what have you.
Yeah.
There's problems either in communication or understanding of what the execution of that play. But then it wasn't that. It was more the case. It failed, and failed. And I'd be watching that, and I'm like, this could be a first down. This could be a first down. The corners are so far backed off. All they have to do is run a fucking simple slant route or a simple out route or a hitch, and they can just fall over, and they've got a first down because you're literally saying you're asking players to rally down onto players that have caught the ball into space. And for someone like Mac Jones, who isn't known for having a big arm or what have you, I'm not saying he hasn't got a solid arm or not, but he's not known for it.
Right.
So you're going to let them dink and donk their way all the way up the field, and you allow that because you play this soft zone. Now, somebody in our group chat, JT Olsen of Creamsicle Chronicles, and a writer here at Bucs Report, did also say that potentially that soft zone could be because of Christian McCaffrey, and that's a very interesting, valid point. And I said that there's some merit to that, but then it's a case of which devil is the worst. Because let's look at it and go back to the Buccaneers game. They started strong. The defense was very, very good in the first quarter. It was only in the second quarter that they really kind of shit the bed. So I would say they gave up 3 points in the first quarter. They gave up 13 points in the second quarter, which is where they were really, really poor. I would say I don't mind Christian McCaffrey occasionally getting his, because it's just one guy.
Exactly.
But you're allowing a quarterback who isn't... Mac Jones isn't bad. If you're going to give him soft-ass zone, he's going to fucking complete against it, even with half-ass receivers, because no one's covering them until they've gained 5 yards.
Right. And that's why those big, and then you see, let's be real, the corners at first, Slick, were having issues containing those receivers because those guys were big. They were tall. These were 6'3", 6'4" kind of guys. And like you said, I got to run down and try to make tackles. Meanwhile, they literally picked some of our corners up in the air and running with them. The problem is, in my opinion, Slick, when you play soft coverage, you make average receivers become above average. Or above
absolutely.
average.
And you can play, and you can also play into that can play into a momentum swing because you're making them feel like they can move the ball on your offense. So even when you do the tight man, their confidence is up. The players are playing at a higher level. They're pushing themselves, and they believe their belief level is higher. So then you've got to kind of try and crush that spirit, and that's a lot harder to do. And that's why I say I sometimes feel like Coach Bowles coaches to the level of what he's playing. So if he plays bum ass wide receivers, he'll give out bum ass fucking coverage.
Right. Well, again, you know how I feel about that, Slick. It's to me, it sometimes
choke the shit out of them, man.
It gives me scared energy. It gives me scared energy.
Here's my thoughts on it. Okay, you want to rotate your coverages. I'm cool with that. And he knows that his man can work because it's happened too many times that his man does work, right?
Yeah.
His man coverage scheme and his blitzing. Why not wait till they cross the 50? Once they cross the 50, it's okay. We're clamping this shit down. Right. We'll let you have some freebies to get into the 50. Now we're clamping that shit down. You're either going to walk away with nothing or a field goal. And that's all you're going to get from us. And that's how they kind of played for a while. And it just kind of felt like that's how I felt they played in 2020. I kind of felt like how they played in 2021. And I felt it's kind of like how they played in 2022. And then since 2022, 23 and 24, we played more of this soft zone coverage where we just kind of let them catch the ball and then we rally down to make the tackle. And if a guy's caught it at 5 and it's 3rd and fucking 7, he ain't got much to do.
Right. He can literally
you can fall over and get a fucking first down.
Yeah.
And every time I see it, I'm like, oh no.
Yes.
Like, what are we doing? Playing fucking sometimes we playing with 4 safeties? Because that's how it looks.
Yeah.
We're playing with 4 safeties.
Yeah, and again, you're building, like you said, confidence, and they were killing us with the hitches. They were killing us with the little shallow crossing routes because it was there. The middle of the field.
These guys are no deep threats. That's the thing is, why are you playing backed off coverage against guys who are not known for fucking speed? It's not like you got Tyreek Hill out there and go, right, okay, we're going to be off him a little bit more because this guy can fucking fly. So we want our guys to be whoever's on Tyreek, instead of being at a 5 or a 6, you're now at a 7 to an 8. I totally get that. But then if Tyreek is a good route runner, they'll just throw different angled versions of routes. So they'll run, they'll run the posts, they'll run the deeper slants, those kind of things to kind of shake you off, or hitches and all the things that will really kind of fuck with you that require good footwork. But if you are worried about a burner, yeah, you back your guy off a little bit. But it's not like they had anyone who was known for being a burner, and it's not like Mac Jones is known for being a guy who can sky the ball through the air like a fucking bazooka.
Right. So that comes back to the scared coaching mentality. Why are you so worried about giving up the big points when it hasn't happened? That's fear. Let it happen. You gotta test it first, Slick. At this point, it's not like this 49ers team is an offensive juggernaut. If they get it one time, you can say, okay, fuck it. I made that choice. We're gonna go back to playing it safe. But like you said, you cannot always allow a team to slowly march down the field. You said it. Your defense isn't always going to come out on top.
Oh yeah, I mean, if they had a deep touchdown and then he played soft zone with corners backed off, I could say, okay, you're playing scared, but I can see why you're scared.
Right.
There's a method to what I can believe I can understand why he's doing what he's doing. I may not agree with it because sometimes you got to take a risk and sometimes you got to just believe in your fucking players. They are going to make a mistake, and those things are going to happen.
Yes.
It's the same with us. We scored the two deep touchdowns on them. Did they back their corners way off us all the time? No, they didn't.
No, they did not. And I do like the fact, though, let's get back on the other side. But first, I'm going to take a quick little break because I want to show this because I got somebody out there that I can still got questions for, Slick. I want to know how he feels about this now.
Well, the answer is Jalen Hurts. And at some point, we all just have to acknowledge all he does is win games.
Yeah. How's that looking right now, sir? Yes. How's that looking? Do you still feel the same way about that? And
it ain't gonna get easier. They gotta go against the Eagles. The Eagles gotta go against the Vikings. Then they go against their bugaboo, which is the Giants. They gotta play the Giants.
Then they go against Green Bay.
They lost on prime time as well. Like, fuck me.
They got them cheeks clapped. All I heard was this. Scatterboo was just sitting back, just ramming it all the way in. Put the thumb in it and everything. But yes, it's not even just that, sir.
I mean, Cam didn't even fucking spit on it. He just put it in.
Exactly. No wipes. Anyway, as we were saying about Baker Mayfield, this is the time where you put the game in Baker Mayfield's hands. And one thing about Baker that we have seen, Slick, is this year when he has been a little rattled, like early in the first quarter, he was a little off, but he's been able to adjust and fix it so well. And one thing to me that showed elite Brady-esque skill, Slick, he gave the ball around to the person available. That is what impressed me. That fourth quarter drive, Slick, to get into field goal range was fucking masterful class work. He was throwing to receivers like Cameron Johnson, throwing to other receivers. And I think, Slick, that actually messed with the 49ers because they didn't know what to expect. Nobody was thinking about Cameron Johnson. Oh, don't worry.
I think that's the thing, though, isn't it? When Emeka goes out, you know who the next man up is because you know what the depth chart is, but you haven't seen a lot of these guys exclusively play, so you don't know what routes they like. What routes the offensive coordinators like these guys to run.
Right.
Because there'll be plays that I won't say are designed or anything like that for some of these guys, but Cameron Johnson's really good at X, Y, and Z plays.
Mm-hmm.
And Tez Johnson's good at these 5 plays. That's their plays that they always eat on, that they have a lot of success in. So you'll call those plays, and they might be completely different plays to what you call with Emeka, or they might be the same play, but now you're not looking at you're looking at the Emeka, who's no longer there, and it's somebody else. Meanwhile, we're going to go, okay, well, Emeka's not out, so we'll go with the choice route on the other side, which is Cameron Johnson's specialty, and he's always eaten in there. So you're going, okay, we'll take the next man up, playing in a Mecca position, which may be Sterling Shepard, and they're like, right, we'll lock this shit down because they like to draw, they like to go to the well on this one, and they always like to go on this guy. Instead, they go somewhere else because maybe the second choice was someone like a Cameron Johnson or a Tez Johnson or anybody else on the play that it's the same play, but now that the people have changed, not the personnel, but the people have changed. The personnel grouping is the same, but the people in the players in the play are different. You may go to a different player on that play.
And now you don't know who to, like you said, who was this? I honestly think the 49ers were looking at Cade Otton at that point. Hey, that's going to be his guy. Let's focus here. Like, we're not worried about any of these other receivers just yet. And when Cameron kept catching it, it locked them. Like you said, now they have to determine at that moment, okay, what's his route tree? What can he do here? Where's he going to go? Oh, shit, we still got to think about Baker. And Baker exploited that. Oh, okay, if you're going to continue to worry about this guy, I'm going to make this guy open. And that's what we were doing. I did like how we managed the clock and how at the end of the drive, we were burning the clock. We were making them desperate. 49ers at that point, Slick, they got desperate. It was, oh, shit. And then Mac Jones, in a way, just fell apart. Not in a way.
Yeah,
he did
because he had to play hero ball. And that's not what he's built for.
He's not built for hero ball. And
he's a good game managing quarterback. Yes. I think he'll have a great success. He may be one of those guys in the future that will find a place that fits his skill set that he can thrive in, like Sam Darnold is now. And I believe that's possible for him. And I really hope that it is for him, because realistically, like, he was given a little bit of a shake in New England, and they did, they tried, but they don't have no fucking wide receiver talent.
No, they didn't. And that's what I'm saying. And that's why it worked into our advantage, like you said. And Bowles, I can give it to him. He's like, I smell blood in the water. I'm going to get this fucker. I'm going after him. I'm going in, y'all. He put the pressure and clamps. And this is the best that I've ever seen Yahya and Hassan coming off the edge. Slick, I was impressed on that last defensive drive the Bucs did. I said, wow, the pass rush finally decided to come alive. And
come alive, show up. Great to see Yahya Diaby get 2 sacks and show everyone that, he's like, I'm still fucking relevant. Cool, man. I hope that breathes into the next game and the next game and the next game. And then we don't have to worry about fucking pass rushes so much.
We do not. Well, there's a lot of things that work in the Bucs' favor coming up into this game. Branch is suspended for doing that stupid shit. So thanks a lot for that. So that's going to be a lot for us. Hutchinson, if I'm the Bucs, if he's going to line up on Heck's side, you either run to that side or you have tight end Otton and Chip. You call it a day. And if you're going to roll out, you roll out to the other side, because as we see, Wirfs is back, baby. Wirfs is awesome, Slick. Wirfs is just, he even said he's not even 100% yet. Imagine when he's 100%.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, this Buccaneer team, when it get healthy, it could be like, you think they're winning now. It's going to look very different when this team is close to healthy as it can get. And by that, what I mean is Bucky's back, Mike's back, Emeka's back, Chris is back, potentially even Jalen McMillan is back. Luke Goedeke is back potentially. That's a much later one. But could you just imagine how much more talented and how much more of a threat that team is, just in general?
Well, Slick, you even said this in the last show. That also means players like Tez, players like Sterling, players like Cameron, they'll be ready to go. They'll be situationally ready. So we don't have to thrust McMillan or Godwin into serious situations. Slowly get yourselves acclimated, guys, because Cameron and Tez are more than capable. Now it's, oh shit, like you said, Slick, now it's, damn it. Now, not only we got to deal with Godwin, who is back in his form, and Evans. Shit, now we got to do, and then Emeka is still going to be killing. Now we got to worry about Tez Johnson and fucking Cameron Johnson. We got to worry about people that we didn't know. Oh, Bucky. Speaking of Bucky, Slick, I want Bucky. If he's not 100%, let him rest until the bye week, because Sean Tucker has shown you, Slick, that he can get it done. Now, when it comes to Sean Tucker style,
not just that, Rashad White too. Like, let's not forget that Rashad White's no slouch either. This guy's been has been the starter for an entire season at one point, a half season before that.
Right.
He can carry the load for a few games, especially if he's got Sean Tucker on his side, as is Robin. He's been elevated to Batman, and now his Robin's pretty fucking good. So, the sky's the fucking limit for this team if they just keep going, keep plugging away at it. All we need to see now is more from the defense. Like, they've not been 100%. Bad, they've just not been great. And I believe the bad play, like, I reckon you could wipe. In the last game alone, I reckon you could wipe 100 yards off the plays just from cushion coverage. 100%. Just from the cushion coverage.
Yes, 100%. And more than that, we can wipe off. If anything, if we get more aggressive, we can see Slick, to be honest, 3 to 4 interceptions. I said what I said, because if you look at it, the Bucs were damn near always in position to pick off Mac Jones. Now, that's not saying that every other quarterback we're playing is going to be Mac Jones, but if you look at the schedule, Slick, yes, Detroit after that, Detroit, maybe the Rams, and maybe the Bills. Those are the only 3 other teams that really have a solid offensive line. Everyone else, it's up in the air. The Saints are doo-doo. Patriots line, they're okay, but I'm not.
Patriots are deceptively good, in my opinion. I think they'll give us a challenge. I think it'll be one of those games that we will close out late, so it'll look a bit more like the Niners game, and we'll close it out towards the end. I think the Buccaneers will get a touchdown, and then later in the fourth quarter, they'll get a field goal to put it at 10 or something like that. To kind of close them out. That's how I see the Patriots right now. Patriots look like they could go to the playoffs.
I like that, Slick. See, I'm thinking the opposite. I think we put them away in the first half because we're going to overwhelm them. And with that being said, with Evans coming back, Emeka coming back, Godwin will probably have a few games.
I mean, that's the big thing about that game, right? That's the one. But I don't know. I don't know if the Buccaneers go, fuck it, let them rest, or leave them for the Bills.
I don't think they will. I think we're at a point now. It depends. You know what, Slick? It depends on this Detroit game. If we beat Detroit and then we beat the Saints, you could be onto something. You could be onto, hey, you know what? We're fucking 8-1. We're 7-1 right now. 7-1. 7-1. We don't have much to prove. Like, Patriots
7-1 would be an absolute fucking dream for us. And then we go into that patch. If we can, like I said, this has always been, me and you've said this 100 times. We said it, both of us have said this is the part of Bowles' coaching career that always seems to go as the middle of the week, middle of the year. And we are coming to it now. And the Buccaneers have beaten 2 good teams already, and they've been competitive with 1. I think the Texans will continue to be better. I think when it's all said and done, the Texans will have a winning record. And I think when it's all said and done, it's going to be interesting, because I don't know if the Falcons are all that, because Carolina are making way bigger moves and waves right now to be the number 2 team in the NFC South. I wouldn't be surprised if it's more the Panthers that give us a headache than anyone else in the division, because they're the only ones. And even then, I don't think they're that good. I'm just saying that it's a really interesting one, because I think both Carolina and Atlanta are a very similar level. I just think one's got a bit more moxie and a bit more attitude about them, and I don't think it's the Falcons at this point. Something about Dave Canales, I think he's ignited them pretty well. I think he's got them playing decent football, not great football. That being said, the roster isn't that fucking talented, so
I hear what you're saying. It depends. You know what? I'll reserve my judgment until the Falcons game tonight. If they play like dog shit and the Bills
Oh,
just
we all hope they do, because that just extends the division more, right?
yes,
It
and
extends
like
the division more for us. Because the Falcons, we see the Falcons as the biggest rival right now,
right,
but it doesn't feel like that they are, because
yes,
I'm looking at Carolina. I'm thinking Carolina's outplaying them.
you're right. And another thing, Slick. Here's another thing that would put unwanted pressure to the Falcons. They lose against the Bills. Now, remember, the Panthers already beat them. So psychologically and record-wise, they can't afford to lose to the Panthers when they play them again. So, and like you said, if let's say
Yeah,
the
they don't
Panthers,
want to be doubled up on and then have to play level pegging with them, because we did that, and we had to make sure that we had a game in front of them the whole time. That made it stressful, because you always had to make sure that you were at least one game in front of them, because if there's a tiebreaker, they got you, because they beat you at home and they beat you away.
exactly. So at this point, the Falcons, well, first of all, Slick,
A little bit desperate right now.
I was about to say they were never going to win the NFC South, but at this point, because we're 5-1, which, mind you, Slick, most people did not expect the Bucs to be at 5-1. I did, but a lot of people didn't. It puts unwanted pressure on the Falcons. Like, we cannot fuck up anymore, because if they go down, like you said, Slick, the Panthers might say we got a shot to get into the wild card. Fuck the Falcons. It really.
And I hope they do, in the sense of they want to. They're in Falcons mood. We just got to make sure that we handle business against them when we play them.
I think,
like I said, for me, I said this last week, and I'll say it again now. Thursday Night Football, December 12th, 2025. I want the Buccaneers to be up by 3 games against them.
Mm-hmm.
They win that game. It knocks them out of the NFC South race, so to speak. And the Buccaneers get a hat and a T-shirt game. They wear that hat in creamsicle. And I don't know if the NFL would do this. I have no idea, because it's quite kind of unique, because I don't know how that works usually with teams wearing throwbacks. It probably wouldn't make too much of a difference, but because it's a different logo and it's a different everything, would technically the hat and a T-shirt be in creamsicle colors?
That shit should. It would be nice.
That would be fucking cool, man.
That would be nice, because I'd have to order 5.
I doubt it, but because they got to get made up, right?
Yes, I would have to order 5 of them damn things. But you're right. At that point, Slick, I would hope that we can close the division out that game, because at that point, they have no hope. They have no hope by then. The Panthers are like, we're not even going to win this. And that puts the Bucs in a situation, God, like, hopefully not, will be completely healthy. But if there are some guys, Slick, that are nursing injuries, now, hey, take a breather, my friend. You don't have to do anything. Let's just get you ready for the playoffs. Because remember when I said in the beginning, Slick, people called me crazy. I said the ceiling is 15 wins. Now, people were like, oh, AJ, that's preposterous. You are crazy. I said, that's the ceiling. I said, in reality,
it's not impossible. It's unlikely. I remember myself, and I was thinking, it's unlikely, but it's not impossible.
It's not impossible. And Slick, again, the way
I see 3 losses, but you know, still would be the franchise
record,
most wins in franchise history.
Our franchise record is 13-4. I think we break that. Why, Slick? Is just the way that the schedule has been favoring us so far. Again, we going up against Detroit. Branch is gone. That I don't think people realize, Slick, how significant that is for that team. They've already lost 2 of their starting corners. Hutchinson now cannot step, because we could double him or max protect. That leaves us time.
Double him, max protect, and one thing you can do is go to a quick game.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at the wide receivers you have. You have wide receivers who are smaller,
yes,
quick. You could utilize a lot of slants, a lot of hitches, a lot of out-breaking routes, all that kind of good stuff. Really kind of rely on your tight end. Maybe a nice bit of mesh, bit of crossing route here and there. Just sprinkle it all in. Screens and what have you. And then screens. Hutchinson is never going to get to the quarterback. He's non-existent. People don't realize it does not matter how good your fucking defensive end or edge player is on a screenplay. He's a nobody. It's all down to the DBs rallying down onto the guy who's catching the screen. And it all comes down to the blocking of the offensive players that are in front of the guy receiving the screen.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying screen every game, like every play. I'm just saying
I catch your drift.
Screens to Hutchinson's side could be kind of interesting, especially if you can put it in a bunch package or put it into a stack or offset stack. Stack trips, so you have you have a nasty slot and then out wide, still quite condensed, as a stack, and have that one guy at the back take it. You can do things. This is where I'd say you want to get creative, because you can make plays with guys and the talent that you have around you that will nullify having a great pass rusher. You just can't live out of them forever.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then we won't run to his side. I'm not entirely sure how great of a run defender he is, so I'm not going to pass judgment there because I don't watch enough of Adrian Hutchinson's
he's
football.
Good at it, Slick, but he's not. Okay, he's not a Myles Garrett or a TJ Watt good with stopping the run.
Myles Garrett, damn, I mean, you talk about a guy who's just accepted mediocrity for the rest of his career. Hey. This guy was willing to leave, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, he could go somewhere. He can go anywhere he wants." And the Cleveland Browns offered him money, and he stayed. And he is going to have to sit and watch
and live through that shit. Hey,
play dog shit football forever.
Yes,
for the rest of his career until he gets until either someone trades for him, or his contract runs out and he goes. And that'll be his last contract. That'll be his last big contract in theory if he continues his dominance the way he is or has. That'll be his last contract because.
Yeah, he has 160 million. So I all I can say is, man, enjoy the money. But either way, he made that decision. But yes, Slick, Hutchinson is not that. Hutchinson is built more for pass rushing. And again, Slick, Heck has been fantastic with running. So let's just say he's on that side. Run the ball.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I'm just saying you can run the football. You can run the football. You got a screen game. You got a quick game, and then occasionally you can on the longer plays. Maybe you chip him. Maybe you have a tight end to help out, swing tackle, that kind of stuff. For the longer plays, the more longer developing plays, cool. Build a high-low, use a high-low system.
Yeah.
Crossing routes. All of that stuff that requires not quick decision making, but like you can get the ball out quick if needs be. Like crossing routes, shallow crossing doesn't take that much. It's the deeper crossing routes that tend to. Screen games, obviously, they always trust Rashad White to go out there and make plays, catching the football in the backfield. Just don't overuse it because I think there's I tell you what I'd love to see. What I fucking love to see. I want to see a play where Rashad White leaks out into out the backfield. Baker turns, pumps the throw, and flicks, and then goes to the screen that's just underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
So he literally turns and then delivers it there. So he just like that, literally staring him down, and then just turns the shoulders a little bit and just throws it to the screen. Because everyone will come down on the running back, and it's not the running back that's the problem.
I agree. I think that would be a nice play. And if we're gonna run it again,
obviously you're only going to use it once or twice in the game. People don't realize that you can't live out that shit. But
no,
it's one of those ones that you go, okay, let's try it.
Catch them off guard. You're right. Catch them off guard with the damn it, and you can see the players the moment it happens. Slick, they go shit. Detroit like, oh no, Rashad White takes it for a 31-yarder. Oh, what about the single back big three tight end? Run that shit. I would love to see a lot of single backs. I like the single back ace. I like the single back bunch. It's so many things that we can do, Slick, like you said, when it comes to Detroit. Now that Branch is not in there. And if Evans comes back, throw that shit in the air. Play action. Who's going to beat him? They might. What if they bracket him, then put him in the slot? It's so many things that we can do down Slick. That's why I think the Bucs are in prime position, because after you play Detroit, you go with the bum ass Saints. Now, I don't think the Saints are going to just lay down Slick, but
I just can't believe that they fucking won the game.
Right, we put their asses to sleep, and now your players can rest. Now for Bucky, like I said, let him sit until the bye week if he's not 100%. Now we'll be cooking, Slick. We'll be cooking at this point, like you said. And I think Bowles, I think he's 3-0 with us, Slick, when he comes out of the bye week. So that's why I think, in my opinion, the Bucs do have a lot going for themselves due to the schedule. Like you said, after Detroit.
If someone said to me, what do I look at the worst? Just looking at this schedule right now, what's the worst case scenario? Lose against the Lions, win against the Saints, win against the Patriots, lose against the Bills, lose against the Rams, and then let's say they lose one in that 6. That's one loss we've already got, 2 losses, 3 losses, 4 losses, 5 losses.
Yeah, 12.
In my opinion, that's the seller.
Yeah,
5 losses.
That's the 4, 12-5, and yet that's
Worst
still.
time we would take that, because what has Bowles been doing? It's only been a game at a time, mind you. I keep stacking another one. Every year he adds another game to the fucking win total.
Well, it's not even just him. It's not him, Slick. Not just him anymore. Baker won't allow us to get below 12-5.
No, I don't think so. But I'm just saying, like, I think, like, I look at that as that absolute ceiling right now.
You mean absolute floor 12-5?
Yeah. Sorry.
I catch your drip. I catch your drip, and that. But you know, Slick, that's kind of been that has been the biggest difference maker, is Baker finding ways, and this team. It's not just Baker, but we're at a point now where Baker is playing at such a high level. This is an MVP.
I think it's the inspiration to the offense that has been really, really good to watch.
Yes.
Because Baker's made plays that extended things and done that, but he still had guys make plays for him too.
Yes.
Right. So you still got to keep those guys ready to roll and believe. And I think, look at last year when we lost Chris and Mike.
Yes.
And we were competitive, and we fought and we fought and we fought. Now we're coming out the other side of it. We've lost all these people, but we're winning still.
Yes.
That's the fucking difference. We've turned those. Yeah, and you would sit there and if we lost the game, like, it's we play bad, but we understand, Mike and Chris aren't in, and yada yada yada. We may be pissed off about it, but we understand why. We don't like it, but we understand why. Now we're looking at it from a very different perspective, because we're like, okay, Mike and Chris are in, next man up, and it just makes the Emeka Ibuka draft pick just seem like 100%. Not one person can sit there and go, well, I really wanted a linebacker.
Nope, everybody's sitting
because at the moment it's the wide receiver position that is decimated with injuries. This is a guy who, right now, Baker Mayfield is a guy who's got I'd say Sterling's probably the 4th choice guy in my opinion. No, 5th choice guy in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 4th. It depends on how you view him versus McMillan. So some people will probably put McMillan as the 4th. Some people might put him as the 5th. So however you want to slice it. Then so you go 4th or 5th, 5th or 6th, 6th or 7th. So you got the bottom, absolute bottom of the depth chart right now.
Mm-hmm.
And still doing shit, still making plays, still winning games.
I'm telling you, that's why I think it works in our favor, because Coach Slick, the man is on a mission. Baker is playing for so much, for respect. He wants to put a lot of shit in the past. That's why
proving everyone wrong, and MVP. And he's very level-headed. So they asked him about being MVP, and he's like, guys, it's fucking week 6.
Yeah, and again, he
knows it don't matter how you play right now. He knows
Right.
It's going to be the continuing. If the Buccaneers wrap up a 2 or a 1 seed by the end of the season,
Yes.
Baker's playing at the same level. So let's say he walks in with maybe three to four interceptions. He gets about 40 touchdowns, over 4,000 yards. He's got to be in that MVP category. He's got to be the MVP, one of the like the first or the second choice for the MVP candidate,
Well,
if not the number one guy, depending on what other people do. Yeah, I'm just going off like what he can do.
Well, Slick, what if he also gets Evans 1,000 yards as well? What if he helps contribute to that too? A part of that.
What I'd like to see is two guys on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers getting 1,000 yards apiece, with somebody close to 800. All of them over 8 touchdowns apiece.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and then the rest of the guys, 4 here, 3 there, that kind of thing. That means the guy's spreading it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you've got a guy who's got 30 touchdowns, but 14 of those touchdowns goes to someone like Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
It's a one-trick pony.
Yeah. I agree with what you're saying. And I think that he will continue to get better and better. And I'm just thankful to be at this point. And I just think a lot of Buck fans take this in and be happy, be joyful. We are 5-1. A lot of people didn't expect us to be here. And again, Buck fans, and for the world, we are the embodiment of next man up. A lot of players are getting that recognition because of our starters being out. This is going to be a good thing for us in the long run, because once we get healthy, the young guys can step up. And I said it earlier, Slick, these other guys, McMillan, Evans, Godwin, they don't have to thrust themselves back in it. Cameron and
carry the load, man. They have to carry it all by themselves, because you'll have guys who's got game experience. Cameron Johnson now has more game experience. Everyone's leveling up, so to speak. So when those guys go in December for the odd play here and the odd play there, it's not like they're just a decoy guy. They could be a genuine threat of somebody who's going to get the ball.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because the chemistry's built.
Chemistry is built. Now,
chemistry in practice is very different to chemistry. Like, don't get me wrong, it does carry through. Yes. But chemistry in a game where you've been in coin the phrase, been in the foxhole together, and you've had to make plays to win games, is very different to. There's nothing matters in it. In practice, you get chewed up by your coach, or there's going to be a really tough video breakdown later, a film breakdown later on in the day if you played shit.
Yeah.
But realistically, you haven't lost a game or anything in practice. So there's a lot more that counts on it. There's a lot more that it catches that the receptions mean more, because it does mean more, because it's a win-loss moment. It's not a fucking we're just getting better. You're not getting better when you go to the game.
Right.
You're taking what you've got better at and trying to apply it to the game. You will get better while playing the game, because you're getting game experience. You're getting exposed to different types of DBs from a route running point of view. You're getting different styles, different different corners, different nickels, different safeties. All those things add up. So you add it up, you build that repertoire. These guys, we could have guys who could run absolute fucking beautiful routes against our DBs, because they practice and they sharpen their iron against each other all the time. But it's very different when you play guys who are, a Taylor Rapp, a Jalen Ramsey, those kinds of guys who are still talented dudes. Just different. Because you might have beaten the fucking Zion McCullum drum all day long for a week, maybe, or even a few days, or even seven plays in a row.
Right.
It doesn't always translate to the game, and that's the beauty of having game experience, because now you know what other things look like. You've prepared for a game if you're the starter, or you're a guy who's getting a lot more playing time. your level of understanding game prep is so much higher than it would be if you were just the sixth wide receiver on the depth chart. It is.
It is what it is. And before we wrap this up, I want to give you one. Who do you give the game treasure game to, like on offense and defense? On offensive side, who gets the treasure?
I'm gonna go give it to Baker.
Okay. All right.
Because that game could have gone very differently had he not made the plays that he needed to make.
Yes.
So I think it goes without saying.
Okay.
On defense, I thought Jamal Dean had a really good day, but I'm not in that world of wanting to give it to him straight away. I thought Levante David had had a bit more of a bounce back game. I'm going to go and give it to Vita Vea. I'm going to give it to Vita Vea because he completely disrupted everything with his almighty push and just allowed other people to eat around him.
Yes, I love it. I like those picks. I'm going to go with Tucker. The reason why I'm giving him his treasure because he scored when it counted. He made his touches count, and that's all we can appreciate. And the reason why I'm not giving it to Tez is because yes, Tez is doing his thing, but for Tucker to come in for what he's doing, he's making it count. Now, defensive side, Jacob Parrish. My God, Jacob Parrish was a warrior. When he took that dirty ass hit, he got back in the game and made shit happen. So again, folks, I want to thank everyone for checking out Bucs Report, the aftermath. As always, you need to find us, check us out on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, of course. AJ Turn up here on TikTok. I'm probably going to go live in a little bit afterwards to talk some shit while the game is on so I can assess. Also, check out It's About Bucking Time. Check out Slicks. Give Coach Slick an opportunity. His accolades speak for itself. So as always, brother, always good hearing from you. And go Bucs. And it's Victory
Bucs.
Monday. Take your rum shot, fellas. Take care, bro. Peace.
Well, guys, that's the end of the show. Thank you for tuning in, all 47 of you. That's awesome. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you want to come on here and come on live and have a chat with us, more than welcome. That's what the aftermath is all about. Your Buccaneers are now going to the Lions. We're going into the Lions' den, and we're going to go and stake and claim a victory. We get that. This football team goes against the Saints. I'm not saying they're going to be a walkover because I don't believe in that shit. It'll still be a challenge. It's a divisional game. I ain't writing them off until we've beaten them. But it should be a game that we should walk away with the win. Buccaneers then go into the bye week. The next few games are crucial. I think if you walk away with at least 2 wins at that 4-game period of Patriots, Bills, Rams, and Cardinals, you're looking at a very, 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 very good football team. And then we hit December, and we've got 5 games in December. If you can win all of those, or at least 4 of them, all of a sudden, your team's only given up 3 losses all season. That puts you in a really good position to start the rest of the year. Go into the playoffs and win. That's what it's about. Don't want to lose in December, never want to lose in December, but if you're going to lose in December, lose early in December so you can wash that shit away. You want to have those last 3 games. You want those wrapped up and done, realistically, in my opinion. Very minimum, you want 2 of them. But on that note, guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope you all do well. I hope you're all doing well. Enjoy your Victory Monday. Eat your donuts. Drink your coffees. Enjoy your celebrating. Enjoy your rum, your drinks, whatever you do to celebrate Victory Monday. Make sure you do it because this is going to be all over very quickly. We're going to be going into January before we know it. And then we're talking about playoff football. All right, so enjoy the moments while they're happening because you will regret it if you miss it. Enjoy the victories. On that note, guys, thank you for being you. Thank you for being amazing. Thank you for supporting the channel. Check us out. Bucs Report, the aftermath. Slick and AJ breaking it down, emotional sometimes, methodical always. And on that note, Bucs on me, Bucs on free. 1, 2, 3, go Bucs!
I don't know.